Things changed, Beast Boy. The girl you want me to be is just a memory.
Come in, Beast Boy! We need your help!
Come with me.
Yo, welcome back to the channel, House Fam. It's your boy Jay back with another video for y'all. Today we are diving headfirst into part 3 of our Terra series, aptly titled The Revival. And as always, make sure to drop a like and subscribe and turn them alerts and notifications on for more amazing content from the House of Animation. Also, follow us on TikTok if you want to see more clips. But first, let's drop that intro. After the amazing ending of the Aftershock, which we covered in part 2 of this series, I was expecting to see Terra break free from her prison and get another storyline involving her gradual reintegration into the team. In the season 5 episode Things Change, we're introduced to a schoolgirl with an uncanny resemblance to Terra. And interestingly enough, Slade's old lair that once held Terra's stone prison was now empty. But the Terra we meet vehemently denies being the girl that Beast Boy fell for, her time as a former Titan, or even her powers. Despite Beast Boy's persistent efforts to reawaken her memories, it's to no avail. This new Terra simply does not want to remember her past life and wishes to start over. Even if it caused pain to others, she had to do what was best for herself, leaving Beast Boy with no choice but to accept it and move on. It was always hinted to and confirmed that this was indeed the Terra we all came to love, but what always bugged me as a kid was how she transformed from stone to flesh. Today, we are going to explore 3 theories on how Terra was able to escape her stone prison. Let's break this joint down. This is probably the safest theory. The stone's effect just wore off over time. This literally would have been the easiest cop-out, but it would have worked. We've seen in the Teen Titans Go comic issue 51 titled Metamorphosis that the Titans are holding up their end of the promise to do everything to free Terra from her stone prison, trying methods ranging from science to magic, but nothing seemed to work. However, one thing we can apply here is science. In the real world, extreme heat can cause stone to crack. With Terra sitting on a dormant volcano, it was very possible that the cavern was still extremely hot. And after meeting the schoolgirl, Beast Boy also claimed that the Titans hadn't been down to the lair in a while. Imagine all that hot ass magma sitting directly right under your feet. Yeah, for sure, this is plausible, especially when it only takes about 100 degrees Celsius or higher to induce fissures in stones. Obviously, there are more factors to account for, but honestly, this is a cartoon. I'm sure the writers weren't thinking this deeply. And this is probably my least favorite of our 3 theories. Let's keep it real. This would have been hella anticlimactic after how she went out. Like, what would Terra have really learned from this? What would have been the point of her redemption? Even as a kid, I would have called this move weak as hell, especially if things like science or magic, which in these types of shows seem to solve everything, didn't work. Although this would have been the easy cop-out, we, the viewers, would have not accepted it. I give this theory a 3 out of 10. Next. To be honest, we never really got to see the full extent of Terra's powers. There were a lot of unknowns, but if she had the power to stop a volcano, this theory could very well be true. We all know that in anime and cartoons, being frozen in stone doesn't always mean death, but more so represents a catatonic state. What if Terra was secretly mastering her powers in her head the whole time? Remember, her powers were telekinetic, using her mind to bend the earth to her will. Imagine Terra fully in control. We did get a glimpse of what this will look like when she seemingly met her demise in the Aftershock Part 2, but what if this was the reason why methods like magic and science didn't work? Because she was actively trying to master her powers. This would have been a full circle moment for her character. In the season 2 episode Titans Rising, when a new and improved Terra shows up, it was Raven who questioned how someone could better control their powers in such a short time, when just a little while ago they could barely hold up a rock without causing a mudslide. And in my favorite favorite scene from that episode, Raven tells Terra that mastering her powers is not done overnight, stating that she meditates daily to keep herself and her powers in check. What if the stone state was not a prison but more of a meditative state that allowed the redeemed Terra to actually take the time to control and master her powers to the point that she learned how to free herself? This would have been a perfect conclusion to that part of her story, and it would have matched the weight of her sacrifice in the Aftershock Part 2, showing growth and maturity from the former Titan. I would have been more than fine with this, but let's be fair, this probably wasn't the case. The Terra we got in the show never gave herself the chance to put the work in for her powers. Even as Slade's apprentice, she was receiving help on how to use her powers. She was never truly in control, so it's highly unlikely that in her stone prison she was mastering her powers. This is more evident in the Terra we meet in Things Change, a girl who wants to forget her past, including the powers she probably never wanted. Someone who willingly freed themselves, to me at least, wouldn't want to just forget and wipe away their past, but the Terra we got always came off as someone who got a second chance and was able to decide their new future. I really like this theory, but to me, it would have worked better if Terra freed herself after penance and didn't try to run away from her past. So I give this a solid 7 out of 10. In the Season 4 multi-episode arc The End, we witnessed the day when Trigon, Raven's father, used her as a portal to take over the world, turning life into literal hell on Earth, and everyone into stone, except for Titans and the Slade, who the latter had made a deal with the devil. This arc sees Slade betraying Trigon after his usefulness is exhausted, joining up with the Titans to save Raven and his own skin to help end Trigon's nightmarish reign of terror. After Robin successfully saves Raven, she and the Titans finally defeat the demon that is Trigon, with the episode concluding with Raven using her magic to revert everything on Earth back to its original state. That brings us to Terra. We have already discussed the fact that Raven in the past failed to reverse Terra's state, but the main difference now is that Raven went through a legitimate rebirth, emerging as a more balanced and powerful magic user, capable of defeating the show's strongest villain ever in like one shot, and then reversing the effects of Trigon's spell, including everyone who was turned into stone. There's no doubt in my mind that Terra was included in that reversal, and this was the true reason why she was freed. To me, it lines up because the episode where we meet the schoolgirl comes after the end arc. I really like this theory a lot because just like Theory 2, it not only matches the weight of Terra's sacrifice, but Raven's defeat of Trigon and saving the Earth was on a whole nother level. This would have made the most sense from the storylines that we saw in the show, and it would have made sense for Raven to be the one to actually free Terra after they were juxtaposed as characters in Titan Rising. Like many others, I have come to accept this as a real reason as to why Terra was able to return to her human form. This theory gets a 10 out of 10. When we first meet the schoolgirl and Things Change, we all knew this was our Terra. Whether she wanted to admit it or not, whether she was being selfish or selfless, we all knew the deal. Plus, not only was this confirmed by a Slade clone, but by her own brother Geoforce. Whether she was right for how she wanted to live her life after gaining what seemed like a millionth chance is a topic for another day. The question we were here to answer was, how did she get free from her stone prison? A question that was never directly answered, but all signs and implications led to Raven, and I think we can all agree that it's a fact. It was a perfect way to keep the character of Terra alive in the show so that she could have potentially be reintroduced if we ever got that season 6, but that is something we may never know. Thank you, House Fan, for stopping by the channel. We here at the House of Animation are dedicated to bringing you guys the best content we can, and we put a lot of hard work into these videos, so it would mean a lot if you could mash the like and subscribe button, and make sure to turn the noties and alerts on to make sure you do not miss out on our videos. Also, make sure to drop a comment below. Let us know if you agree with this breakdown or what else you would like us to explore on this channel. And well, with that, House Fam, you already know what it is, baby. Got a blast.